Hey, I was chatting with a friend a few days back, and he reminded me the, the distress of a newly appointed product manager leader. And so he was managing a quite significant product, and he had 7 or 8 product managers reporting to him. And you can say, yeah, wow, right, perfect, congratulations. And expect that for him, his life was suddenly a nightmare because his inbox was full. Everybody was trying to ask him something. And of course, he didn't know all the areas of the product in details. So he was really trying hard to find his way. And I'm saying, okay, everything is going to you. What can you do about it? And we discussed about empowering the team. We all want that, right? But he had a really interesting idea. He created the role of the dispatcher. So what it is? Really simple. He created a mailing list, PM dash the name of the product. And each time he received a request, he answered to the requester, CCing PM, the name of the product, and telling the people that starting now, when they have a request, they just need to write to PM dash the name of the product, and someone will take care of it and will make sure that the appropriate product managers are involved to really look at the request. It created 2 things. First of all, who was the dispatcher? It was not someone that suddenly had the role. It was a rotating role. So each week, one of the PM was the dispatcher. He was the dispatcher of the week. Of course, they created themselves the planning of that, so to avoid PTOs and all those things. And they did it. Interestingly, they received a lot of requests that were targeting another area of the product they didn't know. So they learned to know what means what, and they also collaborated better for the requests that cover different areas of the product. Because it was a cloud infrastructure product, you can imagine compute, network, storage, and so on. But that's a little bit more complicated than that. So that really worked. And his inbox came from overflowing, really overwhelming distress, and to a few emails. Of course, the PM dash was quite something to manage. And the people who were the dispatcher needed to take a deep breath each time they were opening that inbox. But that worked really well to empower the team. So I have a question for you. I would love to see that in the comments. What would be your strategy? And what do you think of this one? Until then, keep on growing. See you next time.